One thing, as we went ahead and solved a few technical issues this morning, it wouldn't be a Monday morning without it. I appreciate your time again today. Today, we're going to take part two of our kind of basic site builder series. We've been talking quite a bit about making your sites robust and adding different things to your sites and how you can really get beyond that homepage that seems to, everybody kind of does the homepage, but doesn't always do interior pages and some of the other pieces that we have with it. So today we're going to be talking about a couple of different things. We have three really specific things on the slate today. We're going to be talking about the bio page. We're going to be talking about the mobile contact card. And we're actually going to be talking about something called a resume page, which a lot of people have not used. But if you have done quite a bit of business in the last year or so, you'll want to go ahead and build one of these for yourself. It's a little bit different than some of our featured property pages that we've been making. So let me go ahead and share my screen and we'll go ahead and get started this morning, and we'll give you these three things that you can do to increase the usability of your site. So let me go ahead and share here. Move you guys around a little bit. There we go. All right, so I happen to be on our company website right now. So this is obviously rwtown.com, and I'm in our rosters. One of the first things I want to talk about today is building out that bio page. A lot of people have done an absolutely great job building out that bio page. And if you've worked with the marketing department at all, and you've had us build something like a custom brochure for you, or kind of like one of those about me brochures, or we've done some work on things like your listing presentations or buyer presentations where you might have had a bio in there. We've also most likely added it to your website or worked with you to add it to your website as well. So quite a number of you already have bios. But even if you have a bio and you have not upgraded it recently, it would be a great time to take a look at what it says. One of the things that we do find on our bios is that sometimes we put in finite numbers. So things like I've been in the business for 9 years when you've actually been in the business for 12, or you haven't added in your most recent accolades and awards and things like that. So it's always a great time, especially in the fall, to take a look at everything and kind of get that ready to go. If you haven't had a chance to do your bio on your site builder website yet, this is obviously a good time to just get it started and go ahead and get that written out, and then we'll show you some best practices with that as well. So the reason I'm going to start on the roster page for the company, so this happens to be where we find real estate agents, is you will notice that for those of you who have a bio page that's already built out, when you roll over someone's site, you're going to see more about them. So if you go ahead and click on that, it'll go ahead and take it to the bio page that's built into your site builder website. Now, for those of you who don't have a site builder website, you're not going to have that rollover with the about section, just because it's built into the actual site builder website, because it brings in all of the different tools that are on that website. So just know that we are talking about something that's really site builder specific here today. Some people have built their stuff out, some haven't, but if you go ahead and click on that, it will take you over to that bio page. I am going to show you what that bio page looks like. Give me 1 second here. Or at the top has decided to get in my way here. Come on, unpin. Yep. And Ralston, I destroyed your bio this morning for this class. I'm very, very sorry, but we can go ahead and use this as an example to build it back up. So this is what the bio pages will look like on a website. So this is going to actually combine a bunch of the different things that we've already talked about. So it's going to go ahead and bring in the information that's already available in your profile. We have talked about the profile that's available on RWT Connect. And what it's going to do is it's going to go ahead and bring in your name. It's going to bring in your custom title. So while Ralston's is Marketing and Luxury Collection Director, most of you have things like Associate Broker, Realtor, or your designations in this line. If you are licensed in a particular area, this is going to have that. So this one happens to be licensed agent in Virginia. You might have licensed agents in Virginia or North Carolina. We actually have some agents who are licensed in other states as well. It's going to bring in a specialties that you might be assigned to. So in this case, luxury collection specialist. Some of you may have things like a military relocation specialist in here, or we even have commercial and things like that. These are things that we might use on another site. for some of our specialties. So some of you may see something like that. It's also going to go ahead and bring in your information. So in this case, a direct phone number, website, email buttons, and the office that you're located in. So obviously this information is all available in your profile. If this information, when you go to look at your bio, is not correct for whatever reason, it's most likely an issue in your profile. You can adjust some of the things in your profile. Other things might be grayed out. We have them grayed out if we need to use that information elsewhere. So for example, your email address is grayed out because if we change your email address in your RWT Connect profile, we also need to change it in lots of different places to make sure that your single sign-ons continue to work. So we try to make sure that we have some of that information grayed out so only we can change it. That way we change it on down the line as well. So you're welcome to go into your profile and make some updates to some of this if you need to. If for whatever reason it's a grayed out field and you do need to update it, just go ahead and send that over to websupport@rwtown.com. It'll open a ticket with us and we'll be happy to make those changes for you. All right, let's take a look at a couple of other things in this basic bio as well. You'll notice the very first line at the top is the About section. If you have not filled out your bio before, this is just going to say About or About Me, depending on when your website was activated. Here's a really fun fact about this, and I don't like to get technical in these classes, but I want to get a little technical right now. Remember, I've always said that these websites always make you look good, always. This is actually a really important field because this is what we call an H1. Now you're like, what is an H1? Literally, H1 stands for headline one. And it is something that tells Google that, hey, this is a super important piece of information on this page. So when it says H1 on here, it's going to say about Ralston Audain, realtor in this case. So Google's going to know, hey, this is the key piece of information that is on this page. Because it's the About page, we should always make sure that we have your name in here. And then you might want to put something that might be worth something for search engine optimization or SEO. So maybe this will be about Ralston Audain, realtor in Virginia Beach, or maybe this is about Ralston Audain, real estate agent in Southeast Virginia, or maybe it's just about Ralston Audain. Totally fine to just have your name in there. But what we definitely want to do is change it from either just about or about me to something that has some real value on this page, because we know that Google is looking at this very, very specifically. We've coded this internally. It's just part of the box. It's part of what makes this page happen. But we do tag that as an H1. Now, I'm going to put a little warning on there because I know that there's some wheels turning somewhere back there that says, well, if Google thinks that H1s are important, everything on my page should be an H1 because everything's important. That is not the case. We do know that the rules of that guide Google and the algorithm and how they read pages and things like that say that really we should only have one H1 tag. So while we make that box available as an H1, I'm just going to put that little warning into the universe right now that you should not highlight everything else we're going to talk about today and make it an H1 tag. You can actually do that in some of our settings because not everything is important. And actually, it'll just completely skip over it if it realizes that there's just way too much on the page. It's literally looking for a singular headline that's super important. So I do like to put that out there just because I know how you all think. I've been doing this for a long time too. All right, so the next portion down, we have the More About Me. This is a section on our bio pages where we can go ahead and pop in that bio. So you might be asking yourself, what are the best practices here? And it can be a lot of different things. We see agents who are really comfortable talking in both first person and third person. There's no set rule on which one is more important. You sometimes see people with a bio that has like a paragraph or two and then a nice bulleted list. I'm a big fan of that, but not everybody is. Some people just like to use kind of an opening paragraph, that little elevator pitch, and then maybe categorize everything more like a resume. So they might put things in bulleted lists with some headlines on them and things like that. There's no right or wrong reason, but the big thing about this page is that we want to make sure that we convey who you are and what your services are so that people resonate with you. We do know that the bio page is one of the most important pages of the website. We know that if you are referred by someone else, one of the first things they're going to do is Google, and they're going to look up, who is this Ralston person that they told me to work with? and they're going to go to your website and they're going to go ahead and click about me or about, about Ralston or learn more about you because people like connection. People like networking. They want to know more about you. They want to know that you're the right person to work with. And that is what this resume and this bio section is all about. It's really about making those connections. So when you make those connections in your bio page, you really want to convey things like what is really meaningful to you and how you treat your clients and what their expectations can be of you and your service. You might also want to include some really important details in there. Sometimes family is really, really important to people, or community connections, or volunteer work, or where you went to school, things like that. All of those things can make different connections with people, and how they feel about you and working with you. But what we do want to know is that we want it to convey both your level of service, but also some personal details just to have people get to know you more. The other important thing about this bio page is, let's just get a little more technical again, will be things like search engine optimization or SEO. So this bio page is also going to be important because we do know that Google really does value bio pages or the about section. They value it on real estate agent websites, so as a personal piece. They also value it on company sites, like about the company. They're looking for a page like this in particular when they're going to different sites. We want to make sure that it's built out. So for search engine optimization purposes on here too, remember I said about that headline, we might want to put something like about Ralston Audain, Virginia Beach real estate agent. I'm only using Virginia Beach as an example. When we're doing something in those paragraphs, we might want to talk about the different cities that he services. We may want to talk about, his different schooling, or we may want to talk about different designations. We may want to talk about family or community. We may want to go ahead and put in there different keywords that really help people resonate with search engine optimization, things that people might actually search on, like somebody who does or specializes in military relocation, or somebody who specializes in downsizing, or somebody who specializes in first-time home buyers. Those are all keywords that can really help Google identify who you are and also make sure that you're served in different search queries that people might do as well. So there's a lot of different ways that we can do this. Obviously, you are welcome to write your own bio if you are talented in that department. I would say most of us are not, and we also get stuck in analysis paralysis about writing our bio. It's like, what do I even say about myself? The nice thing about this is that we do have AI technology now to be able to help us write this, and you should 100% put it to good use. Now, I'm going to use ChatGPT today. I'm not endorsing ChatGPT, but it is what I probably use the most as an individual. Some of you may use Gemini. Some people might be using Copilot. There's lots of different AI engines out there to be able to start to kind of just give us an idea of what we might want to put into this bio. So I have ChatGPT open right now, and I'm just going to go ahead and try to give it a couple of prompts to see what it comes up with, just to see if we can write ourselves a good bio here. All right. So I am not going to log in here real quick. I did want to show you, I have started one already this morning. We're going to go ahead and do a prompt on our own as well, but I wanted to show you how you can kind of change this just for the sake of time. So I started one this morning that says, I'm a real estate agent and need help writing my bio for my website. It's okay to talk to the ChatGPT engine like you're sitting down with somebody in the marketing department. It should be, let's give it some directions here. 3 paragraphs long and some bullet points of accomplishment. So I'm telling it I want some paragraphs plus some bullet points. Use terms that would be helpful for SEO whenever possible. So I'm asking it, hey, I know you're writing a bio for me, but I still want you to use terms that would come up in search queries. Like, make sure that it sounds like something that would work with some SEO. And we'll see how that works in just a second. Let's give it some stuff to work with. I've been in real estate for 10 years after a long career as a nurse. I really pride myself on communication and helpfulness to my clients. I really want to emphasize that I listen. I'm an associate broker. I have the GRI, AHWD, so At Home with Diversity, and MRP designations. I mostly work in the area of the Virginia Peninsula and Williamsburg, and I specialize in military relocation and first-time homebuyers. Okay, so we've given this prompt, and we're going to go ahead and write another one, but I want to show you how we can kind of work with this before we get started. So we've given it some prompts. We've told it we would like some SEO. We've told it where we work. We haven't really given it any personal information, but we have told them what we do with, our community and things like that. So it regurgitated to me this about me section. So I have a decade of experience. This is just letting us know different things that we navigate the complex real estate market of the Virginia Peninsula and Williamsburg. It starts to talk about their exceptional service, ability to listen. So it's basically just taking all the things that we did and making it sound really great. Gave us our bullet points of accomplishments and expertise. And so whether you're buying your first home or moving to the Virginia Peninsula due to a military transfer. So I like this bio, but it does need a little bit of cleaning up. It's okay to ask it another question and say, this isn't really what I was looking for, or to make some changes. I noticed on this prompt that I gave it that it really just did things like the Virginia Peninsula and Williamsburg. It just gave it some other information. What it didn't do is define something like what the Virginia Peninsula is. And you can use this for lots of different things. If you're saying that you specialize in Northeast North Carolina, maybe you need it to call out some cities. Maybe you need it to call out some specific sections of Virginia Beach. Maybe you want to call out Pungo and Sandbridge and things like that. All those different SEO terms. You can say, make this better, which is what I did. I said, add more SEO for real estate and also call out specific cities and military bases in my community. So I'm saying, I like this, but I think it can be better. So it rewrote it for me. So it's starting to call out now the Virginia Peninsula, including Williamsburg, Newport News, Hampton, Yorktown, and Poquoson. And then what are different expertise. So they're also starting to call out different SEO phrases, so search engine optimization phrases that might be important with Google. So it's starting to call out the different bases. It's starting to call out things like solutions and home buying and home selling. It's given me a couple of more bullet points in here. So some of this stuff isn't quite right either. Don't forget that you can't completely rely on something like ChatGPT or things like that in order to complete your bio. So whether you're looking or seeking a new home in the vibrant community of Williamsburg or need to relocate to a military base, it doesn't quite flow for our market here, but we can go ahead and make some minor changes to it on our own if we need to. I've also asked it now to make it less repetitive and add more SEO real estate terms. So it has said Williamsburg and the Virginia Peninsula over and over and over and over again, and I need to make it so that it doesn't sound like it's written by ChatGPT. So I gave it that prompt here, and now it's saying, with over a decade of experience in real estate and a strong background in nursing, I offer a unique perspective and exceptional care to my clients. So now we're getting a lot softer. So it's starting to understand what I'm looking for. And then it's starting to put in some more keywords in here. So things like more about relocation, more about first-time home buyers, expert guidance. There's our cities again, personalized service. We can start to see that it's starting to add some more keywords about real estate service in general. So now it's starting to add some more about communication, our experience, making things easy. And then it's starting to give us some more. There's our accomplishments and expertise. And then it started to break out some of the stuff. So it's not saying things like the Virginia Peninsula and things like that over and over and over and over again. This is a pretty good one. So we've kind of settled on a decent bio here. We can certainly go ahead and add more to this if we want to. But I did want to show you, especially as we started to kind of go through this, that you can actually ask it to make things better or add things or change things. So in this particular case, I'm going to go ahead and actually create a totally new one here. Let's go back to ChatGPT. And we're not going to run through the whole exercise of making it better and making it better, but I do want to show you what it would look like to give a completely different prompt. So I'm just going to start out here with something like, I need help writing my real estate bio for my website. I am new to real estate. This happens pretty often. I've only been licensed for 2 years. I want a bio that makes it sound like I'm not completely new. I mean, I'm making this really realistic today to the industry. I really focus on, let's just say, first-time home buyers again. And let's go with a totally different city. So why don't we go with the Virginia Beach area? I also specialize in, how about condos in downtown Norfolk? Let's just give it some more information here. I have an MRP designation. So why don't we put some personal information in here? I graduated from, how about Virginia Tech, with a degree in business. I'm married to my husband of 3 years, and we have 2 dogs. How about we live in, where do we want to live? How about we live in Ghent? So let's give it some examples here too. I want to focus on exceptional service, everybody does, and my communication skills. Now, you can make this whatever you want, but let's see what it comes out with. So it's giving us a completely different tense here. So we've given it this basic information. And it says, hello, I'm so-and-so, your dedicated real estate professional specializing in guiding first-time home buyers through the exciting journey of purchasing their first home. With a deep-rooted passion for real estate and a keen focus on the Virginia Beach area and downtown Norfolk condos, I'm here to make your home buying experience smooth, informed, and enjoyable. With a background in business from whatever. And then, so we're bringing this unique blend of local knowledge to the table. This is something that most of us would never come up with unless we had a degree in creative writing, of which I don't. But I do want you to show that it's really personalized, and it really has given us a really decent bio on here, even though we've only given it some basic information. Now, this is very different than the first one that I showed you, and I wanted to show you a completely different example here. So this has added some more information. So this is a little bit more family focused. It's a little more personal than the first one. It does talk a lot about real estate in here. We could certainly give this another prompt on here as well. We could also say something like, make it longer, make it shorter. We could say, add some bullet points with some highlights of my career, or here's some awards that I've won, and have it put those into bullet points in here as well. So you can certainly go ahead and change this. But once again, I just want to give you a word of caution here that even though we're spitting something out from an AI engine here, we want to make sure that we are both reading it and proofreading it. We want to make sure that everything is really accurate, but you may also want to put your own personal spin on it too. This is a great kind of framework or base. This would be great for you to go into and just kind of type out some additional information. I'm just going to take a little point here. Maybe it's, I'm a resident of Ghent with my husband and our 2 beloved dogs. Maybe we call out that we rescued our dogs, or our dogs are 2 poodles, or whatever it happens to be. Maybe we just add a few more details in there. I know that was kind of a silly example, but it's a good example for something like this, where we can just add a couple of details that might make people resonate with us a little bit more. All right. So now that we have this bio, what are we going to do with it? And how are we going to put it in here? So I'm going to go ahead and use the copy feature. You can certainly, all the different engines have different copy features. You can certainly just go ahead and copy and paste it if you need to. And let's go ahead and change that. So I happen to be in RWT Connect right now. So let me get back to my dashboard here. And let me show you where that bio resides. So if I go up to that hamburger menu up on the left-hand side here called My Dashboard, and I click on Site Builder, I'm going to go to Interior Pages. And this is where my bio will reside in here. Now you're looking for something called a bio or profile page. So you're going to see that it says right here, bio/Ralston Audain. And that's our profile page. And that tells the system how it's connected and what it's connected to. So we don't want to change that name. We don't want to update that, because our system knows to grab that for that About Me or More About Me section on our company roster. If for whatever reason you're in Site Builder and you do not have a bio page, if you were in my last class, you know that it's super, super easy to add bio pages. You're going to go to Add, and you're going to see something called a profile page right here. I said that we would come back to that in our last class. And if you click, you'll notice that you have a bio page option right there. Now, there's a couple of different bio page options. We are only going to talk about the basic one today, which is this bio page right here. But we do have some other options. If you are interested in looking at something like the advanced bio or the video bio, we have some other bios in here that are related to the company. If you're interested in the advanced bio or the video bio, please just drop us a note at web support. We'll make sure that we get that set up for you correctly. You can only have one bio page on your website. That does come up from time to time. So if you are interested in switching for whatever reason to the advanced bio or the video bio, just let us do it, just to make sure that it gets done correctly for you. But the majority of you, and if for those of you we've activated, have that basic bio, which is what we're looking at today. I do want you to notice that if you've been in some of my other classes, you'll notice that I've always said you need to give it a title. This is one of the sections that does not get a title because, again, we don't want that name to change. We're just selecting the bio page. It's going to add it completely formatted correctly for our system to your interior pages. So you would go ahead and just hit that create button. I can't do it now because we already have one built, but just know that it's that easy to just go ahead and click add, and again, profile page. So I've gone ahead and gone down here to the bio Ralston Audain, and I'm going to go ahead and edit that page. And again, that's going to bring up that page we just looked at live. And remember, the entire system works the same way. Everything on the right-hand side is a preview, and everything you can do to it is over here on the left. So we are looking at the page content in this particular case. And you'll notice we have a number of different settings here. So we have that about Ralston Audain Realtor. And again, remember I said that this box was automatically set up to be that H1 tag or that headline 1 tag, the most important headline on the page. So maybe we take this away and we say about Ralston Audain, Virginia Beach Realtor. Just adds that extra element there. And then you'll notice that we have a more about me section. So that's right here. So if you wanted to, you could totally add that bio right here to this section. That's okay. If you don't have a lot of other formatting that you're going to do, you just want to go ahead and pop in a couple of nice paragraphs here and things like that. Obviously, we would change your name. You can go ahead and just pop it into that box. Now, if for whatever reason you would like to add some additional information to that area instead, notice that we have this other section here. Ralston is a realtor in the area for more than 45 years, this award, that award, things like that. That's under this advanced editor. So what that allows us to do is to put some text in this box right here, but it also allows us to add a couple of additional things. If we want to do some additional formatting, maybe we want to add a single photo, maybe we want to add a photo of a or a logo of one of our designations and things like that. We could certainly go ahead and use the advanced editor. So it's really up to you. Again, that headline is going to be that H1 tag, which is up here. That's really important. And again, you do not want to put your entire bio up there because if you H1 tag 5 paragraphs, Google's going to go, you don't know what you're doing, and it's going to skip over the page. We want to make sure that that's the most important headline that's available on your site. But you can use this box. If you're not going to do a lot of formatting, totally fine. Or if you need to do some additional formatting, you can use that advanced editor. I'm going to go ahead and click that advanced editor just so you can get a reminder of what that looks like. Remember that advanced editor is going to allow us to do things like adding an image, or it's going to allow us to do some advanced formatting up here, whatever we need to do. So I'm going to go ahead and just highlight all this section here and paste in that bio that we wrote. There we go. Change that name. And from this advanced editor, again, I can go ahead and make certain things bold. So maybe I want to make sure that I call out things like guiding first-time home buyers. So I can just highlight something like that and hit bold if I want to. I could certainly make certain things bulleted points if I needed to. Maybe I did want to go ahead and add a photo, or maybe I wanted to go ahead and add a logo to this. This does support the image library as well. Again, just to give you an idea, don't forget our image library has 3 different categories to it: stock images, company images, and my images. So those are images that you can upload on your own. I'm just going to go to company images real quick. We do have a couple of logos here. I'm just going to add the At Home with Diversity logo right here. I'm just going to go ahead and click on it and hit select image, and notice that it's added that logo down here at the bottom. There we go. And anytime you're in these advanced editors, you can just click and resize, especially if you've got a huge photo in here. But there we go with our At Home with Diversity. You could certainly add an additional logo to this if needed as well. I'm going to just go ahead and click save. And so now we have a really nice bio. So we've gone from not having anything at all or just having something basic to about Ralston Audain, Virginia Beach Realtor. Hi, I'm Ralston. Here's this great piece that was written for us. And we're going to just call out here. We have this At Home with Diversity logo on here. Certainly makes this a lot better and a lot more interesting and very readable as well. Okay. So we have this information in here. Once we've made all of the changes that we're looking at, we're going to do the same thing that we always do with all of our other pages, and we're going to go ahead and hit publish. And I'm just going to hit OK. There we go. And now that page has been published for us. So if I go back here to the bio, and now we see that all of those different changes have been made on here as well. And I promise, Rosalind, I will go in and erase this and make sure that we get back to that you've been in the business since the dawn of time on your website, and put some more marketing stuff back in there for you as soon as we're done. All right, so that creates that bio section in here. Now, you might have noticed a couple of things with that bio. Again, I'm going to go back to that editor here. Ralston doesn't have this because he's not an active agent right now, but we do have a couple of other sections that are down below. So for those of you who have active and pending listings, you will have those on your page right here. And you will also have your sold listings on here as well. And you can go back and change some of these settings. So for your active and pending listings, you're able to choose what type of listing you want to show on here, whether it's priced from high to low, or your newest listings to your oldest listings, or even random. You're able to put that in here as well. For your sold listings, again, you can choose the type of property you might want to go ahead and put in here, whether it's newest to oldest or price high to low, and also your price ranges on here. Just as a word of caution here, we get this question fairly often on our sold listings. It depends on which MLS you're in, how many sold listings actually show up on here. So we belong to or show right now 5 different MLS systems on our websites. Some of those MLS systems allow us to display more sold data than others. So if you are based out of something like North Carolina and NCR MLS, and you belong in there, is your main MLS, you may have 3 years of sold data available to you. If RAIN is your primary MLS and you're only in RAIN, it's only going to show the last year of sold data. Unfortunately, those are the limitations of our MLS systems and the data that's provided. Also, it's in part of our agreement with those MLS systems right now that we can only display that information up to a certain date. It actually says in our agreements with the MLS that we can't display that data beyond a certain point. So just so that you're aware, because it comes up fairly often, if you're looking at one person's bio versus another, if they're based out of Richmond or Williamsburg or Gloucester, RAIN, obviously, or Northeast North Carolina or OBX, they all have very different rules on how much sold data is allowed to be shown on there. So it might differ from agent to agent. Just want to put that out there for you. All right. Did anybody have any questions on this individual bio page before we move on? All right. Then let's go ahead and keep on going here. So I need to go ahead and I'm going to stop sharing for just a second because I need to switch over to an active agent to show you what those resume pages will look like. And if you'll give me just a second, I'll be happy to share what that looks like for you. Give me 1 second here. We'll pop on over. All right, let me start sharing again here. Thanks for the patience while I move to an active agent here with some information. Otherwise, we won't be able to do this one. There we go. All right. So I wanted to show you a bio page that actually has all of the actives and pendings and solds on here, because the next thing we're going to talk about is a resume page where that information is going to come in handy. So this obviously happens to be Susan Pender, one of our agents, and she has a bunch of different active and pending listings. That's what it looks like when it's built out there at the bottom. This, again, is all automatically coming in from the MLS. And then you have my sold listings here on the bottom. So this really does complete the whole picture of a biography. So again, agent information, a nice biography. This one happens to be a paragraph with bullet points, really popular format here, active and pending listings, and sold listings. Now, on the resume page, this is a page that can be just your sold listings. We've had this come up fairly often where people might want just a sold page to be able to talk about the solds, to be able to put it on a postcard, maybe to be able to put it on e-cards that you're putting out there. I've seen people put out their sold page, just the sold resume, on their e-signature too, something like instead of going to testimonials or client reviews, they might go to, you know, see what I've sold or see my clients or things like that. So that you can have just your sold listings. Might be, again, something that you might use as you're talking to a customer or client and you're starting to develop that relationship. Things like, here are the properties that I've sold, you know, maybe in the past year, if you have to disclaim that as well. So I do want to show you how you can build that just sold page that's available outside just the bio where we normally see this. So I'm going to go back to our interior pages right now. So again, I'm working as this particular agent. I have gone to my hamburger menu. I've gone to Site Builder and I've gone to interior pages. So again, interior pages is anything other than the homepage. So it can be all the different content that's available to us here. And we're going to go ahead and add a resume page on here just for solds. I think I went ahead and deleted the one that was here. So we'll go ahead and add it back. So what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and go to that add page again. So remember, add, we have lots of different categories of things that we can add in here. And I said that we would go back to some of these new categories. So one of the things that we're going to add is a resume page. Now, a resume page you would think is more like a bio page and things like that, but it's really kind of consider it a listings and sales resume page. There we go. And it's going to bring up the ability to have a couple of different formats here. So we have pretty much the standard format, which I think everybody has seen, which is just block, 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 block. If you want to get a little bit more artistic, you can certainly go with a format that kind of keeps people's eyes in different parts of your page. So instead of being a block, 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 you have kind of these horizontal and vertical formats. Just a little more artistic. It's a little more personal style. Just depends on who you are and what you like. You can certainly go ahead and choose the different styles. Depends on who we're working with, which style we choose. For today, I'm going to go ahead and choose one of the more artistic ones since we just saw a block on block format in the bio. So let's choose resume 2 on here. We are going to have to give this one a title. So think about what you might want to use this for. So this might be, you know, something like my sold listings, or it could be something as simple as, you know, something like sold or sold, whatever it happens to be. So remember on our last class, I said that these titles turn into the URL. So in this case, this agent would be, let's just go back to Ralston, it would be ralstonodain.com/sold or my-sold-listing. So depending on how you're going to use it is how you might want to name this. In this case, I'm going to just put sold because we're going to make it nice and easy. And I'm going to go ahead and hit create. Remember, anytime that we've created a page, it's just going to go ahead and throw it back to our interior pages site, and it's going to put it in alphabetical order. So we obviously just named this one sold. So if we go on down to sold right here, and that's our resume page, we can go ahead and edit this page. So this is blank right now, but that's okay. It's going to go ahead and populate. Just give it a second to come on up. And then it's going to have all of our different solds on it, but we can go ahead and change what this might look like as well. So remember, this is our preview over here on the right. And then everything that we can change is over here on the left in our page content. So maybe we don't want to call this resume. Maybe we want to say something like my solds, or, you know, in this particular case, this agent has a tagline. So we might want to say something like, I'm going to just say sold by Susan, which she uses in some of her advertising. You can certainly add some additional information in here as well. This is a headline, but if you did need to go ahead and add some additional text down below, something, maybe a call to action, like I can get your home sold tool to contact me, we can certainly go ahead and do that. You do have an option here called resume settings. Now, this is really similar to the featured property settings, and this is going to go ahead and allow you to put the different solds and things like that on here. And it's going to allow you to dictate what you want to see and how you want to see it. So in this case, I'm just going to choose every single property type. Maybe we want to leave out our rentals. If we do a couple of rentals on the side, maybe we don't want to put those in there. We can go ahead and do that. We can certainly set our minimum and maximum price range in here. We don't use this very often, but I have seen it where somebody has made a sold page like luxury solds, where it just focuses on the luxury sales that they have that they might want to use for that particular book or project or e-card that they're sending out. You could certainly set this maybe at your minimum luxury price range. You can create multiple resume pages. It's unlike the bio. So if you wanted to have something like a luxury solds, you could certainly have it, or all of my solds. Or if you wanted to have, condos I've sold, if you're doing a specific mailing to go out to a different condo community, you could certainly do that as well. So just think outside the box on that. And then you can go ahead and sort your listings as well. So if you wanted to go maybe on the solds, high to low, this would be great, especially if you're doing a luxury page. Maybe you wanted to do your age, newest to oldest. So remember, age doesn't have anything to do with the house. It has to do with the listing. So this would be the newest solds to the oldest solds, or you can do random if you want to. Most of us use either high to low or newest to oldest. And then we'll go ahead and hit save. It's going to ask us if we want to save those settings, and it'll go ahead and make those changes for us. Super easy page. This is how easy this was to set up. We just went and we added a page. It was a resume page, and we've given it some basic information. I'm going to go ahead and hit publish. And now that page will be available on here as well. It looks a little weird on here, but that's okay. It's just because it's in the preview mode on here. But if we go to Susan's website here real quick, let's go to view website. And we'll go to sold. We have the sold by Susan on here as well. So here is the format. So this is the page I just deleted. So it hasn't updated it. The page I deleted this morning before I did this class. So it'll update to that new format here fairly shortly. But this is the different solds, and this is going to be done by date. So there are the different properties, and certainly you could use that. So this would be great to use again, and it'd be great to use in your e-signature or an e-card. This would be great to put on a postcard if you wanted to. If you're talking to somebody and they want to just see the solds, you could certainly do that. This is also a great thing to add to your navigation bar. So if you have something like about Susan, this one particularly goes to her bio, but if you had a drop down here, you could certainly add things like sold by Susan or my sold listings or whatever it happened to be. So do go ahead and add this to your navigation bar as well. And again, just as a reminder, you can set up multiple resume pages with different kinds of solds in it if you need to use it for different things. So if you want all of your solds, you can do that. If you just want your condos, you can do that. If you just want your luxury solds, you can certainly do that as well. All right. Did anybody have any questions on the resume pages before we move on? We're going to go on to the very last thing here. Okay. All right, so the very last thing I want to talk to you about today are the mobile contact cards. We get this question fairly often of, hey, is there a page that's really simple that I can send out to my people on maybe text message or email that just has some basic information about me and some things that they can do on my website? So for those of you who are following along at home or in the office and you have a site builder website, I would love for you to go to your domain. So whatever it happens to be, in this case, it's ralstonaudain.com/mobile. Every single agent in the company already has this. You can create custom pages, and I'm going to show you where you can do that. But if you want to see what this looks like, I would love for you on your phone to go to either your domain/mobile or ralstonaudain.com/mobile. So you can see what this looks like on a phone. This is specifically formatted and designed to be able to be used for people who are on the go. So if you are sending somebody your contact information for the first time, you can send them yourdomain.com, whatever it happens to be, /mobile. This is a great thing to use in text. It's a nice thing to put in your e-signature. You know that a lot of people are on their phone when they're checking their email. And it sends them directly to this, what we call the mobile contact card. So again, this mobile contact card is kind of like a little mini bio here, but it's going to direct people to really specific places on your website, but it's also going to allow them to get really quick one-button access to your contact information, texting, calling, and things like that. So I'm going to just go through what this mobile contact card looks like. And again, I am on desktop today just so that we can have a nice big share screen, but this is specifically designed for mobile. So it's going to look a little bit different if you look at it on your phone, which is why I would love for you guys to look it up. So again, this is going to bring in some basic information. So there's that headshot, there's that name and all of our basic information. And again, this is all coming from our profile. And you're going to notice that we have a couple of things down here. So we have a call button, a text button, go to my website, about me. So it's going to go directly to that bio page. The contact card, you might need to be able to share this. It's going to take people directly to your property search or your featured properties, or download that B card. This one happens to have careers on it because it happens to be a manager page. But I want you to see, let me go to, there we go, on an agent website here, and I go to mobile. There we go. There's that headshot, there's that name, and there's our title, there's our office information. It's going to go ahead and bring in our social icons that are already available in our profile. It's going to go ahead and bring in additional information. This is an agent contact card. So there's our call, text, mobile, about, contact, share it. It's going to go directly to our property search, directly to featured properties. How much is your home worth? Or sign up for Property Watch. And again, every single agent already has this built into their website. So you can use this right now. So if you're a Site Builder subscriber, you have a domain on your website, you can go to /mobile, and this card is ready for you to use already. It's ready to go. These are the most popular features. Everything, again, is pulling in directly from your bio. So all of this information should be correct on here. However, you can also create your own mobile contact card that might go to different callouts. We've had a couple of agents who said, hey, I use different tools, or I want to value different tools more than the order that you have in here. Can I create my own? The answer to that is yes, but we also know that you have this already built into your system. This works for the majority of our agents, but you can build your own. I'm going to go back to my interior pages here. I'm just going to go ahead and stay on this agent so you can see what that looks like. And I am going to go again to my interior pages. So I'm going to my hamburger menu, and I'm going to Site Builder, interior pages. Remember, interior pages is anything other than the home page. And I'm going to go ahead and click Add. There we go. And this is a specific type of page that's available on here. So I'm going to go to Page. And remember, we have in our drop down all the different types of pages that we can add. And I'm going to go back to do that one more time here, just so you don't miss it. I'm going to add. So we're adding a page. We're going over to the page category. And we're going to go into that drop down. And we have something called a mobile contact page right here. Okay. And this is going to bring out the different layouts that are available to you. Okay. Some of these things are system set. So while we've set the different colors and where the we've set how the logos look and things like that, when you create your own mobile contact card, you can change things like what these buttons actually mean. You are going to have to give this a page title. Now, remember, we've already taken the name mobile for the one that we have available to every single agent. So maybe you want to make this something really simple. So maybe this is, we can make this like mobile 2. We can make this contact me. We can make this all sorts of different things. So maybe we'll do contact me in this particular case. You can see the different formats. This is the mobile contact one, is the one we use as a default, but if you like a different format, you're welcome to use it. Just be careful on here. Remember, these are formatted specifically for mobile. So if you have a very vertical photo, it may not necessarily work in here, but this works great for a team or with an agent who has a wider photo available to them. So you can see the different options here. So I'm just going to go ahead and choose one. Let's grab this mobile contact 4, just for something to do here. And I'm going to hit create. Remember, again, anytime you create a page, it's going to put you right back into that interior pages in order. And I created this one called Contact Me. And I can go ahead and edit that page. Now, again, remember, anything that we do is available. So this is our preview over here on the right. And then anything that we can do is available over here on the left. This is a really good case here that this particular format is not going to work for this agent. We've done a custom logo on the top of that site builder website that is black. So we're actually going to have to choose a format that does not have the really kind of dark Cabernet behind it. So we'll actually go ahead and go back and change it to a different mobile contact card. I'm going to skip that for now, but this is a good example of what happens there. So sometimes we do need to choose our layouts depending on any customizations that have been made to our website. But I do want you to see that it's brought in that agent information. Everything's available from the profile page that's available. All of those buttons are automatically created because we do have obviously our phone number in our profile. We have a texting option in our profile. This agent has a website. They have an about page built out. Obviously, they have contact information and they're able to share it. And then it's actually trying to bring in some buttons here, but you can go ahead and change those. Remember, this is a preview on the right. Everything we can do is on the left. So you're going to notice that I click page content. It's only giving us the option to change those 4 buttons. So this is a set layout, and it's only going to give us the option to change those 4. Really, really easy to change these. So maybe we want to go ahead and leave property search, but we want to change the name. So maybe we'll do something like find a home instead. And then it's giving us the option to go to that agent's homes for sale site. Maybe we want to make call out to instead of featured properties. Maybe we want to go to that sold page. So, so I'm just going to do this in this particular case, and I'm going to put sold. Now, right here, you might be noticing, hey, you don't have the full URL. You can do it either way if you're on your own site. If you are on your own site, you can just use whatever's after the slash, or if you want to and you're more comfortable, you can certainly use the HTTP section here and do it like that. So either way will work perfectly fine. Just make sure they're using HTTPS, which is the secure version of your site. Maybe for call out 3, instead of having open houses, we want to do something like find me on Instagram. And we could certainly go ahead and take that URL out right here and maybe put our Instagram. I'm just going to put an example here, Instagram URL. Maybe that's all we want to put on here. The nice thing about this is actually one of the pages that has that hide and show section. So maybe we don't have a 4th option that we want to put on here. We can just go ahead and hide call out 4. It'll just go ahead and hide it and bring it all back up to the top on here. Once we're done with this, we can certainly go ahead and click that publish page. We don't have anything to overwrite because this is a brand new page. And let me go to that live website just so that you can see what that looks like. So there is the website. And again, we know that this template is not going to work for this particular agent because they have a customized logo at the top. We would have to choose something that had a lighter background. But there are the changes that we made to find a home. We added our solds instead, and then we added the find me on Instagram section on there at the bottom. But again, you don't have to create an extra one of these. We do have that mobile contact card ready to go for all of you who are already Site Builder subscribers with all of the basic needs and information on there already. Did anybody have any questions about this mobile contact card and how you can use it? All right, no questions today. All right, just to give a recap real quick. So today we went over creating a bio and kind of your best practices for creating that bio on your Site Builder website. We went over how to create a resume page with all of your different solds on it. We also went ahead and showed you how to create your mobile contact card, which is great to be able to use for things like text messaging and an email when you need just a really quick way for people to be able to use the tools on your website and get a hold of you. All 3 of these things are pieces of information on your website that help people get to know you, helps increase communication, helps increase networking. These are really important pieces of your website and just give that added extra to all of your different SEO and Google options and things like that as well. Hopefully you found some of this useful. Hopefully you can go ahead and create it. If you do have any questions or you get stuck on anything, this recording will be available most likely tomorrow in our library. You can also go to the training section and you can see some of our past classes on some of this information as well. If you need to open a ticket for whatever reason, feel free to email us at websupport@rwtown.com, and we'll be happy to help you as much as we can. Thank you so much and have a great day and a very productive week.